Hey friends, welcome to Minimalist. My name is Becky Truda, and today on this very rainy, wet, cold day, I've got my coffee and my nice warm blanket, and today we're going to talk about minimalist decor. So if you've watched any of my home videos, which I will link below, you know that I have very sparse and minimal decor around my house, and that is very intentional. It's taken me years to get to where I am now, but it's a journey that was 100% worth it. So today I'm going to give you 10 tips on how to reduce your clutter around your house, reduce the decor around your house to get a more minimal, more peaceful home decor. So the last one is one of my very favorites, so make sure you hang on to the end. But the first one is to just keep it simple. So I think back on the journey of decorating my living room when we first moved in, and I would have picture walls on every wall, and there was constantly a rotating number of things that I would buy, from thrift stores to TJ Maxx to everywhere in between. I would take anything that people would give to me and I would try to decorate my house with it. Now, while I used to call this shabby chic, it really was just shabby. It never looked quite right to me. I always felt like I needed to change out the pictures, and it just was so stressful for me. It never felt like this home felt warm and cozy and peaceful for me to be in. And really it was because I wasn't keeping it simple. It was over complicated all of the time. I thought that I had to figure out all the colors that matched and have pops of color in every room, and it just was so exhausting. So when I started to just pare back and keep it a lot more simple, only keep it to a few colors in every room, visually I feel like it makes it look much more appealing. So keeping the decor that you choose as simple as possible will help you to not feel like you always need to change things out all the time. And that goes along with number 2, which is one of the basic, most important principles, and that's to declutter. So like people have always said, you can't organize clutter. Well, the same thing goes with our decor. You cannot decorate if you are full of clutter in every room. When you buy things like fake plants or tons of picture frames or tons of little knickknacks to decorate, it becomes clutter, and you get so used to seeing these things that you don't even realize that that's what it is. You don't know what you really like when you have too much. That's just my honest opinion. When I would constantly over decorate every place, I didn't even know what I really liked. And it just was too much for me. Visually, for me, I need to keep it minimal in order to make the room feel peaceful. So start decluttering those things. If you're not sure if you're ready to get rid of it, then try hiding it from yourself. Put it in a spare bedroom or in a closet where you don't see it every day. And if you don't go back for it, then you know that you're ready to declutter it. If you are somebody like myself who is easily overstimulated by your environment and you really want your home to be a place of respite. So what I did is I really took out a lot of the bright colors in my house. Now, if you are someone who loves color, then you could just skip ahead past this one, because this isn't going to be for everybody. We all have a different amount of color that we can handle visually in our home that makes us feel at peace. But if you are struggling with matching colors, or you feel overwhelmed when you walk in your house, then it might just be that visually there's too much going on. So when you see in my home, we keep things very earth tone colors. So greens and browns and blues and whites and grays are the colors that I have in my house. And that was very intentionally done. It was because I was so overwhelmed and overstimulated in my house that when I want to come home, I want to be at peace. I had to see all the overstimulation when I went out into the world. But when I come home, this is a place that I can make for myself and my family. And I want these spaces to be as peaceful and calming for me and my family as possible. So number 4 is extremely important, and that is to pick furniture that is really going to be multifunctional and useful in that space. So this is one of my favorites. I've talked about this several times, but the couch I am sitting on right now and the coffee table that I have in this room were very intentionally bought because they are higher up, so it's easy for my Roomba to go underneath them and clean underneath them every single day. The fabrics that I choose are easy to clean, but also multifunctional. So when I have my coffee table, usually we put our feet up on it, we put our drinks on it, but it's also a place that we can sit down and have little dinners if we're having movie nights together. it's also very light and easy to move. So think about things that you're buying in your house or the things that you have. If they are not suiting what you really need them to do, like the coffee table I had before, it was very big and very bulky. So it was difficult for me to move around. So really paring down the things that aren't working perfectly for you and only keeping those pieces that are multi-use, multi-function is really going to help your space work a lot better for you. Okay, so the next one is to use the light in your favor, to maximize the amount of light in your home. So in our living room, we have this beautiful, huge bay window, which we're so grateful for. It is one of the biggest draws of my house because it lets in so much light. But what I used to do is I used to have these very heavy, dark, blackout curtains in our living room that didn't let any light in. But what I found is that even when these curtains were open, they were so big and bulky that it blocked out a lot of the natural light. So what I did is I bought some very cheap but nice sheer curtains. And so even when they are closed, they do let in some light. And when they are open, they automatically let in a lot more light. So optimize those windows that you have. Try not to buy the big heavy curtains unless you absolutely have to, like in your bedroom, and let in as much natural light as possible. All right, friends, I hope this is being beneficial. And if it is, remember to hit that subscribe button and throw in a like if you are working on your minimalist home as well. But let's go to number 6, and that is to buy smart storage solutions. So I've done some tours around my house. I will link those below, but the tours around my house show that we have done very intentional storage spaces. And for example, in our bedroom, my husband actually built out our closet himself. We couldn't find exactly what we wanted for our clothing in there, but we knew that we wanted some basic shelves and we knew that we wanted some small hanging spaces over on the side. So you can see in our bedroom, we both have 2 bars that we can hang our clothes on, and then we have a series of shelves that go down the center that are easy to access because we don't have a dresser anymore. It was too big and bulky, I felt like, for our small room. These shelves work perfectly for what we needed. And my husband just went to the hardware store and he got them to cut it down himself. We stained them and threw them up. The brackets were easily bought on Amazon. And so there's so many storage solutions that you might need to search out exactly what you need and measure the space, but you don't have to buy anything too expensive. Our shelving unit that we put in there was probably around $100. So it doesn't need to be super expensive, but you do want to make sure that it's going to suit exactly what you need. In our downstairs closet, you'll see my husband built a little shelf for us to sit on when we put on our shoes. And it's such a simple little solution to that area, but it was a blank space and we needed a place to sit. So when you're thinking about minimal decor in your house, minimizing the excess, you also want to bring in things that really are going to work for the problems that you're having in your home. Number 7 is just limiting your decor. And what I would suggest doing is to just slowly take away the things that you're not sure that you want anymore. It has been an evolution, I will say, of decor in my house. And now what I've had for probably a year or so, I've had out and I haven't bought any new decor. So when you are decorating, think about, is this a multi-purpose useful thing, or is it something that brings me a lot of joy and peace when I look at it? And if it's not fitting those 2 categories, either storing it away until you can be sure you don't want it, or just get rid of it. We have so many little knickknacks and decorations on our flat surfaces. It just makes cleaning so difficult. And it really overstimulates you while you're trying to be peaceful and at home. It's almost like it creates this Rolodex in my mind of a list of things that I need to clean, or maybe I don't completely love them where they are. Maybe I want to then try them in a different room. I've even done where I have completely emptied the shelves in my living room and then slowly brought back things that I remembered I loved. And that really helped me to not overcrowd those flat surfaces. I also want to say that when you pare things down to either 2 or 3 things on a surface, it really makes those things stand out to you and to others. And I feel like it makes them shine, which I feel like is the important thing. The things that we decorate our house with should shine. Those are the things that really bring us joy and really can bring out our own personality. I really like to decorate with plants because plants are something that bring me a lot of joy. And so I realized that I don't need a lot of excess decor because the plants are the things that I want to shine. So number 8 is something that really was difficult for me to do in the beginning because I am such a thrifter, but really decorating with things quality over quantity. So it doesn't mean that it has to be an expensive item, but is it something that is going to last? Is it something that really is beautiful and meaningful to you? And if it's not, then it's probably just in that quantity group. I used to decorate our flat surfaces with tons of candlesticks and tons of picture frames that I found at the thrift store. And those were not quality items. Those were not things that I felt like were going to last. They were just in the moment, and I felt like every season I needed to change out my decor. My mind shift has really changed, and now the decor I have in my house is just there year round. It's things that I like all of the time, and that is why they're quality. All right, so these next 2 are just gonna wrap this up and help you with maintaining that minimalist decor. So number 9 is to embrace the negative space. And so when you are really trying to minimize your home decor, when you're trying to live in a more peaceful and relaxing environment, which is what minimalism has done for me, you need to embrace those blank spaces. Take away all that excess furniture, all those excess side tables, take away all those picture frames that are on your wall, and just embrace blank spaces. It is one of my favorite things now. I love looking at the empty spaces because it allows my brain to kind of shut off and relax. I have the ability to sit on my couch and read a book without feeling like there's so many things distracting me from the task that I have at hand. So number 10 is to maintain and keep harmony in your room when it comes to furniture. So when you are decorating with different furniture pieces, really start slow. Start with those functional pieces that you really need to have. But there's often those pieces like side tables or coffee tables or rugs that you think you need, but really we're just thinking in the mind of what society is telling us we have to have. But I don't have any side tables in my living room. And I know that was radical for me in the beginning, but it really isn't now. I have a coffee table that we put our drinks on when we need to, but the side tables just made the flow of this very long and smaller size living room difficult. It was hard. It was something extra to get around. It was something extra to clean. So think about the harmony in your room. Is there places and things in that room that make it hard for you to be in there, hard for you to entertain in that room? Those pieces need to go. So when you are sitting down in that room, just think, do I feel at peace in this room? Does this room feel like it has a cohesiveness, a harmony to it? And if it doesn't, it might just mean that your furniture is not flowing correctly, doesn't feel right to you. And so taking a few pieces out actually has helped me a lot to maintain a harmony in this room. And I haven't needed to move or change furniture for a very long time, which is huge. If you enjoy learning about decluttering and minimizing, then thank you so much for watching, and please remember to hit subscribe. And I would love if you put a heart below if you are maintaining a minimalist lifestyle with us. I'll see you guys next time.